Oh my god, how can they possibly miss the most important feature for the quality of life features? I mean, in this patch. Come on, the feature that I'm not going to talk about in the opening, but I'm going to talk about in the video, that's the most important feature. How can they possibly miss that in this patch?
Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit with you. Just the thrill of it. Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Dev Diary for patch 2.2. I'm Jane Chen, and I want to give you a peek into the stuff coming to Wild Rift over the next couple of months.
All right, let's go.
One of the things we've heard a lot from you is that Wild Rift has a lot of humanoid champs, not as many monstrous types. So let's take a peek into the cave and find out who's coming next.
All right, Galio. I have never played this champ, but I heard he's really meta in PC tournaments. I mean, I watched a lot of PC tournaments, some, and it's really meta. Ramos, oh my god. That's like any girl's favorite champion, to be honest. He's cute, easy to play, and really, really strong. There we go. My next main. Let's go, baby. Assassin jungler. There are not too many assassin junglers in the game right now, so I was talking about Rengar and then Kha'Zix, and finally we're gonna have them. Rengar and Kha'Zix. Rengar and Kha'Zix are not gonna have that much quality control, so it's mainly just like pick on people, right? When you have those champion as jungler, I think the playstyle of the team have to adjust. So, I mean, I cannot wait for more assassin jungler to be laid out in the game, because then people start adjusting more playstyle into Wild Rift. I'm gonna see a lot more variety, just like PC, so fantastic. Renekton, the lane bully. The only thing I gotta say about Renekton is the lane bully. I cannot wait to see the Baron lane being dominated. Now, because right now, Pantheon is really strong, that I see. You know, dominating lane, his early game is insanely strong. His rotation really strong. So you have another lane bully coming in, and then Renekton is also a really strong tank. It's gonna give a lot of Baron lane a really hard time. I mean, if you look at Yasuo players, they're struggling against Darius, right? Yasuo Baron lane players specifically. Now they're gonna struggle against Renekton also. Let's skip to the next part. New items and the gameplay.
Here, we're looking to flesh out Wild Rift's item pool. Patch 2.2 brings a few new items and tweaks, including refreshing the item icons so they more closely match the ones on League PC. Let's dive in. We're adding...
Again, while we're getting closer and closer to PC, this is alliance with what developers said a long time ago, when they said they're gonna do joint events for PC and Wild Rift. This is gonna be a lot easier for a PC player to transition into mobile. I mean, I think this is a good thing to attract more players. Yeah, so more power to them.
Frozen Heart, Force of Nature, and Sunfire Aegis to help flesh out the item pool for tank players.
Wow.
Sapphire Crystal now has a mana charge passive on it, so you can stack earlier and evolve your Tear of the Goddess items sooner. Sheen no longer builds out a Sapphire Crystal, making it a more accessible choice to non-mana users.
I do want to talk about the Sheen part. I think that's really important, because a lot of times when people try to build Trinity Force, a biggest struggle for a lot of fighters to not build this item early on is because the component of it is so shit. Like, because of Sheen, right? Sheen's component has a crystal, and then you don't really need the mana. Like, let's say Vi Lee Sin, but you do run the item, and then the path to glory, to finishing Trinity Force, is just too painful. So now, after taking the mana part, the crystal away from it, I think it's helped out a lot. So with that being said, they also mentioned that crystal is the Sapphire Crystal only going to be the component for the tiers. And remember, guys, they added the passive to the Sapphire Crystal. Now you can start like just charging up this crystal really early on. So you might even consider getting this item really early, just for the tier, right? Before, maybe even your first item, you know, before you finish the tier. A lot of times now is like, I would save enough 900 gold, which is enough money just to buy the tier and buy it together. I wouldn't buy the crystal, because they're not gonna give you any stats besides a little bit of mana, which I don't need right off the bat. So with the Sapphire Crystal, it's gonna give you mana, and it's gonna start the stacking right off the bat. And then once you have it, you can then build into tiers. So I like this. I like this change.
Spell Ghost wasn't seeing a lot of use, so we're updating it as League PC has. It should now be stronger and more fun to use. Its top speed is reduced, but the buff lasts longer now, and on takedown, your speed boost will be reapplied. So now everyone can get excited, just like Jinx.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so toxic. A lot of good Cinch players are already really good in the game right now against a lot of Baron laners. If you apply ghosts like this is gonna be so toxic.
Finally, we're changing the way champions play with higher attack speed. Right now, stacking a bunch of attack speed basically makes you feel like you have no windup on your attacks, giving you an easy way to flawlessly kite or chase as a high-powered marksman. We're adjusting this so it's not so forgiving. We'll be keeping an eye on win rates closely to make sure it doesn't feel too bad for dual laners.
Like, I don't understand that. Is that just a nerf on ADCs? Because only ADCs stack attack speed, right? I mean, you think about it. Fighters might get attack speed sometime like Yasuo, but they don't stack it, right? Yasuo go for crit item. This is a nerf on ADC, but I don't know how it's gonna affect it. Like, I don't really experience whatever Jane's talking about, the developer is talking about right here. So we'll see in game.
Over the past few months, we've been gathering your feedback about quality of life features you want to see in the game. We've heard you, and we're adding some features to make your experience better. We're adding new pings to give you a way to say, enemy missing, and enemy has vision here.
Don't care.
You can now tune the dead zones on your ability buttons. The bigger the dead zone, the harder it is to accidentally aim when tapping abilities.
That's actually pretty good, I suppose. When does it ever apply? The only real life application that I had, that I experienced with this is when I play Yasuo, right? If I want to go into EQ somebody, I press EQ, but sometimes it will just, if you don't light tap it, if you just somehow press a little bit harder, it will consider it as a drag, and it will actually E onto the person and then throw a tornado in the direction that somehow they decide what your finger is sliding it to. It's really annoying. This is gonna make it harder, I suppose, for Yasuo player to mess it up. I don't see how this affect any other players. Like, there's not too many champions that you're forced to use your skill in combo to create a different skill, right? Only Yasuo. You're gonna do EQ with a guaranteed hit. Why would you go E and slide your Q with a different animation? That's just making no sense. Unless you try to poke somebody from far away. With that being said, you're gonna do that consciously. This quality of life changes, I really like because I'm a Yasuo main, but I don't know how it's gonna affect rest of the players. I don't think it matters that much, to be honest.
And you can now optionally hide player names in-game, or choose to display champion names instead.
Okay, I guess this is making the game less toxic. Because if you don't see player names, it's hard for you to associate a player with a champion, right? Because a lot of times when you play in ranked, sometimes you remember, when you see a player frequent enough, especially happens in higher elo, because they're only so little players. There's certain players who like to spam Jax a lot, there's certain players who like to spam Singe a lot, and they're pretty bad at it. Or there's certain players who just like to try champion for the first time in challenger rank. And then, don't get me wrong, it's not like I personally don't have any problem with that. I just think it's unlucky for me if they're on my team. But a lot of people actually hated this. For me, I have people who pick a lot worse, in my game. So if people want to try stuff in the rank, I just think it's unlucky. It's their game also. They can do whatever they want, right? Because it's your game, but it's also their game. You can't just say like, oh, you shouldn't do this, right? Why? Who said, do you own the game? No, right? It's everybody's game. So they can do whatever they want. But I don't know whether this applies in the ban pick phase, because that's where you get tilted. In the game, I guess it's just for streamers, or it's a static thing. Like, I don't know how much quality of life this will improve, to be honest. But yeah, sure. You know what's a really important quality of life improvement is fix the freaking PvP system. Currently, if you're higher elo, the current system, how it works is the PvP system will still match you like how they match you in rank. Like, let's say if you're a diamond, you're a challenger, doesn't matter. They have to find an opponent that's equal rank or similar rank of you, and then give it to the opponent before they match you in PvP. Basically, PvP, it's just like rank, except it's blind draft, right? You can pick whatever you want, but you have to be the similar skill set, at least how it's defined in rank system, which is stupid. Because think about this, like if some players are really good, they grind really hard to challenger or diamond, let's say, just diamond, not even challenger, diamond. The current state is it's impossible for you to find a PvP game if you reach diamond. Doesn't matter which region you are, it's impossible. I waited 2 hours last time when I was just diamond. And then when I was making a video, I tried to play a PvP to practice Katarina when it first came out. I really wanted to practice that champ, but I also don't have the champ on any other accounts, And I don't have a Smurf account in the used server for me to practice on. I want to play PvP, but I can't find games. It took me 2 hours and I gave up. Same thing happened when I was in the Asia server, when I was in Korea. I literally could not find any PvP games at all. If you're low elo, like plat, gold, you can find any games you want. Once you get a higher rank, when it's really, really hard to rank up, when the LP system, when the VP system start kicking in, the victory points, it's really hard for people to practice a champion on their main account. It's impossible right now. The only way for you to do it is in practice mode or against bots, which is really have no real life values. It's really important for them to fix the PvP system. I think just take away the rank restrictions where you can match with anyone. Why do you have to have that as PvP? That's what rank system is for, you know? To have it equally matched against two parties. Why do you have it equally matched in PvP? PvP people just play for fun. You don't have to make it even, you know? That's the whole point, right? So we can practice champs against other people. A lot of times it's really unfair, right? The developer experiences something they think is important and they're gonna fix it right away. But whereas real life issues for a lot of players out there who are decent, who really wanna practice champs on their main, instead of starting a new Smurf account every time a new champion coming out. Vanguard, Karzix is coming out, right? How do you expect challenger players to practice them? Start a new Smurf? How about start 2 new Smurfs? You just practice 1 champ each. How does it make any sense for new players in rank, you know? It's not fair for them, and then it's also not fair for the challenger players, right? Like starting a new account just to practice a champ? If you have 100 new champions coming out, do I have to start 100 new Smurfs? Like please, fix the PvP so like we can practice champs, man. It's not gonna be unfair for entry-level players who are playing rank. It's not gonna be unfair for the committed players who are really grinding the game.
Many of you have asked for a way to have more control over the position you play in-game. We're going to be running a short test for a feature we're calling position preference.
Okay, Roku. Good! Roku is coming out. Let's go.
Choose which playstyle you're most interested in, and the matchmaker will try to assign you one of your
Oh, so it's based on preference 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I see.
preferred positions in the lobby. If you don't want to pick manually, we'll look back at your recent history and base it off that instead.
Okay.
We're only running this for a few days to collect data on how well it's working, so you'll find a separate queue in the rank tab. For anyone who wants to help us test, none of your matches, ratings, or event progress will carry over from this queue.
Okay, maybe this is a good way for people to practice champs. It's not related to anything.
So give it a try. We'll keep iterating on the system, and if it's going well, we'll be adding it to ranked at a later date. One quick note, this test won't be available in the Americas yet, as the game.
What?
This patch introduces the premier first to Wild Rift skin line called Stargazer.
First to all ripped.
Stargazers are godlike archivists who can see and influence fate by studying the stars.
Wow.
Joining the roster are Camille,
That is cool skin, by the way.
Twisted Fate,
Damn, that is dope.
and Soraka.
People are gonna buy that shit. I don't know about Soraka. I
we'll be
personally do not know anyone who plays Soraka. 2 other ones, the Camille's really popular champ, the Twisted Fate's really popular champ. Soraka?
A small in-game event to celebrate the launch. And of course, we won't leave you without another quick look at some other skins coming soon.
All right. Yeah, Darius? Yeah. Wait, do we have a Blood Moon Yasuo? No? Oh my god, how can they possibly not get Blood Moon Yasuo but just Cannon? That Corki skin looks weird. Draven. Renekton skin? Okay. This looks fire, to be honest. This one looks good. Wild Pass, oh my god.
Later in the patch, we're
This is like from the name of it, you already know. This is like anything that you already use. Doesn't matter which mobile game you played before. Every single mobile game has it. Every single game has it now, right? If you played Brawl Star, if you played Mobile Legends, Arena of Valor, I don't care. They all have it. Something passed, right? You spend a lot of money and then you track your progress and give you rewards.
introducing the Wild Pass, a way to get more stuff just for playing. Here's how it works. The Wild Pass works just like you. There's also the Wild Pass Elite, which comes with some
Yep. This is exactly
extra
like
missions and XP to help speed
what we're
up
talking
your
about
progress.
here.
Reaching level 50 on the Wild Pass grants an exclusive skin, Hexplorer Jax, to show
Oh my god. What if I don't want this skin? Like, you have to, how popular is Jax? Like, I don't understand why they have to force a skin on people. I mean, this is a cool skin, don't get me wrong, but I would never touch Jax, like ever. Like, why not give an option of, you can either redeem Jax or like a skin selection thing, you know, for like certain rank, right, of the skin. So give me like a chest so I can go get any skin I want. Why don't you give me that, right? Like, I don't, Or you can get Jax, right? If somebody want to. Because I don't want the Jax skin. I'm never gonna use it. I'll pretty much still buy the pass. But now, I don't know, this give me like, I don't know. Will you buy the pass? Like all the other stuff are kind of weird, right? Like trinkets, emojis, that's not that important. Because people don't even spam emojis that much in Warfare, to be honest. But Jax skin, that's huge letdown, dude. Like, I don't know about you guys. Do you guys want the Jax skin? Or, I mean, if it's Yasuo skin, it's good for me, but it's not good for anybody else who doesn't like Yasuo. So why not give a chest, like a skin selection chest? I think that'll make a lot more sense, right?
Show the world how far you've come.
Eh.
But things don't stop there.
ARAM.
Finally, starting this patch, we'll temporarily bring a player favorite game mode from League of Legends. That's right, all random, all mid, or ARAM is on its way. So starting soon, we'll be releasing a temporary test for ARAM on all servers. For those of you unfamiliar with ARAM, it's a shorter, faster-paced game mode set on the Howling Abyss, a bridge atop a bottomless
This is basically just Brawl, right? Brawl mode from Mobile Legends or Brawl mode from Arena of Valor. Every single mode has it. It's basically everybody goes down to one lane and it just clashes since the beginning. And it's all mid, all random. So you only get random champions. We're not gonna go through the entire detail of ARAM, but it's really fun mode. So I think a lot of players are gonna really enjoy it. This is especially good for viewer games, like for player parties, you know? Oh, a little post credit. Is this where everybody's spawning? What is that? Is that a champ? What is it trying to tell me? This is like a tomb. It's like a tomb, but then there's like a ghost. I don't know what I'm seeing here, dude. I don't. Overall, guys, what do you guys think about this patch? I would give it a 7 out of 10, to be honest. I like the new champions. I like some of the features, but again, it's missing one critical feature. And then Riot still hasn't addressed the most important pressing issues. This is like preaching to the choir, right? Like, we are already excited for the game. Doesn't matter where you are. Let's say you're NA players who are playing a U server. You're already dedicated to the game, right? Like, I'm already dedicated to the game. I like the game, you know? But what I want to hear is, really, I want to hear a developer diary on marketing or what their expectation for the game is, right? Do they expect this game to be like a mega-sized game, or do they expect this game just for transition from people from PC to mobile, right? Just to give PC players another way to play the game. Is that what they want? Do they want no new customer at all from like the mobile market, and then they just want to satisfy the PC players who want to play on mobile? Is that what they want, or is something else? So I would love to hear more about those, the plan for Wild Rift, right, for the developers in this upcoming year. Not just esports. I had enough, to be honest, hearing about esports. The game is so new, in my opinion, to talk about esports, you know? My god honest opinion. When was the last successful title, mobile game title that you played? Doesn't matter the Supercell titles or the mega one in the world right now, Mobile Legends, who just got acquired by ByteDance, TikTok, right? They didn't do esports in the first year of the game. You know, they just focus on the game. I'm not saying like a strict timeline, but you really want to focus on growing the game to have a decent player base, and then start doing esports or focus on esports, right? To lock in the player base. Because big player base is everything for the game. It's everything for the game. It's for the health of the game, for the content of the game, for the ecosystem of the game. Everything depends on it. But right now, everything that we hear from the official news are just esports. So what are y'all thoughts? Leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, and turn the bell on. AssassinDave signing off. See you guys on the Rift. Bye now.
Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit.